So I'm going to show you how to quickly transfer money into your Ally bank account utilizing Zelle. So we're going to hop over here on computer so you can follow along in real time. Now, if you're on your phone app, it's going to be fairly similar as far as settings and walkthrough. So keep that in mind when we're going through this, even though we are on desktop. Now, the biggest advantage of using Zelle is that your money will be transferred quickly into Ally, so that way you can actually start earning that higher APY into your bank account. Now, your other bank does need to have Zelle as well to be able to utilize this function. And if you already have that and know that for sure, I'm going to show you how to make sure you could transfer to yourself. So what we're going to do is here in the Ally account, we're going to want to go over to where you see transfers. It's towards the top left of the screen as of this recording. So if we tap on here, I still have my little circle covering it, so let me close that. You're going to see the option that says Zelle. There's also bank transfers, which you could do if your other bank does not have Zelle, so keep that in mind. But we're going to want to do Zelle because we want that quick and easy process. So let's go ahead and load this page up. This is actually in real time right now. So we're just sitting here waiting. And the first time it's going to have you go through Zelle, it's going to take you through these steps. So if you've actually been in this section, you might not see this page as well. So keep that in mind. So you can see right over here, we're going to go ahead and get started with using Zelle. Now, this is going to be the first thing that shows up when you clicked on that get started page. It might have just jumped up for us because it did have my email address and my phone number, but of course those things are now blocked. So when you signed up for Ally, you did plug in your email address and your phone number. So those things are already available for you to be able to choose from. So you could see this first option right here actually says that my email is already enrolled at another bank. That's perfect. That's actually what we want. We want our email or our phone number already attached to a Zelle account with another bank, because you can't actually have the same email or phone number attached to two different Zelle accounts. And the reason for that is because if you want to transfer to yourself, you need to make sure that it knows which bank account to go to. So the great thing with Zelle is they already know where your emails are being utilized, so you don't accidentally choose the same email you have with another bank account with Zelle. So hopefully that all works out there for us. So what we want to do here is, obviously we can't choose the same email because it's already attached. The next thing over is actually the phone number. Obviously it's blurred out here as well. I can actually choose my phone number. So with one of my Zelle accounts, I can actually have my email, and with my other one, I can have my phone number. If that doesn't work out for you, you can actually go ahead and add another email or another phone number you have access to be able to make this possible for you. So that way you can transfer between. So once you get everything set up, the way it'll end up working out is your current bank that you have with, let's say, your email A, you're going to go ahead and go in there and be able to transfer it over to your Ally account with whatever contact information you have. Again, phone number or email will work in that case. So if for some reason I didn't want to use that other phone number, I can go ahead and add another email. And you can see right over here, it says email or phone number. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this information in, and we'll move over to the next step. Now, before we move on, I want to quickly mention that I just recently created my online course about setting and forgetting your retirement account. So if you are in need of getting your retirement up and running and don't really care about all the day-to-day operations when it comes to running that retirement account, I have got you set. Now make sure you check out the link in the top of the show notes so you can get your retirement finally up and running. Forget about it and know that you'll have money when it comes to your retirement. Use that code YouTube to get $100 off of this course. So you can see right over here in this next step, it's going to send me a 6-digit code to that email, or if I did a phone number, it's going to send me that code to that phone number. So once I actually plug it in, I got the information in like right away. You could see that I'm actually plugging it in real time. I'm gonna go ahead and verify this. And this is actually the reason I wanted to go through this process to add another email, because you can see here, it is already attached to another account with Wells Fargo. Although I'm not a fan of Wells Fargo, I've done it for video examples here. So you can see right here, it's gonna ask, do you want payments to go to your Ally account instead? You can actually hit yes if you would like, or no, thank you. Now keeping in mind that when you say yes, continue, it will deactivate any money going into your other account that email is attached to. So for my example here, this current email that I have, I will no longer receive funds into Wells Fargo. I will be receiving them instead into my Ally account. So you can go whichever way you want to. You can switch back and say no thank you and add a different email address. I just wanted to show you that in case you did have something set up, it will keep that in mind and actually let you know about it. So for this example, we're going to go ahead and hit yes, continue. Now keep in mind, if you didn't have to go through a couple of those extra steps and you had your first email being one that's available for you, it's going to jump you right into this next step right here, which is going to ask you where you want your Zelle money to go. you get to actually choose the account. Now, if you had just the savings account, you can choose which one. If you have the checking account, you can choose that one, and so forth. So for us, we're going to just choose one of the savings accounts we have. You can see the continue button is now highlighted, which we'll click on. Now from here, you can see it says, congratulations, you are all set up with sending and receiving money with your email address. You can see there are no pending transactions. And the reason this might show up is in case somebody actually was sending you money already through that email address, it will actually show that one in pending for you. So now what we could do is send money or even receive money with this account. And the way we can do that is one of two different ways. So we're gonna go ahead and click on send money. And so this is gonna be the page we land on. And if you've already set up your Zelle account with Ally, this is where you would have jumped to as well. So you can see there's a send and a request button. And when you click on request, it's gonna ask you to plug in the email address or the phone number you have with your other bank account to be able to withdraw that money into your Ally. So again, you could do it directly from your Ally account, or you could do it from your other account where you're sending the money to Ally. Either way is going to be the same effect for you, so that way you can go through the process and have this money jump into your Ally account right away. All right, so in the request section here, we actually do not have any contacts because this is a new account. So we want to click on new contacts here. And in this section, it's going to ask us if it's a personal or a business account that we're sending or receiving from. We're gonna put in our own first and last name since we're pulling for ourselves. And for the nickname, I'd probably recommend either your own name and then what bank account it's coming from. So for me, as an example, it would say Dennis, Capital One, because that's where the money is going to be pulled from. And then I can choose to have it pull from the email or phone number that's on file with that other account. Now, again, because I'm sending to myself, I already know where this is from. But if you're sending money or receiving money from other people, of course, you want to be asking them what is associated with their Zelle account. Is it their email or their phone number? Or it could be both also too. You can actually have a phone number and email attached to the same account. So if they say, hey, both are options, you can do one or the other, whichever works best for you. So let's go ahead and fill this out and we're going to click on save. And just like that, now our contact is created, which now since I'm still in the request, I can go ahead and request any amount that works for me to be able to have that sent over. Typically anything when you start getting into a couple $100, like maybe close to $1,000, it might take a little longer. But if you're doing like $20, $100 or $500, usually that will show up in your account within just a couple of minutes. Now from here, if everything looks good, I can click on review. That's actually going to send a request to my Capital One bank, which then I can verify that I'm sending it to my same bank. If you'd rather do that versus just sending it from my Capital One to my Ally, either way is going to work out the same exact for us, but this way you can have it as a request to come in and then click confirm from your other bank account. Now, one thing I really want to keep in mind too is Zelle looks different for every single bank. So unfortunately, there is no continuity when it comes to how Zelle actually works. Some banks let you actually do like auto pay with Zelle if you're sending money to somebody on a regular basis. Some other banks do not allow that. So just something to keep in mind when it comes to using Zelle. So if you by chance have a bank that you want to be checking out to see how Zelle works for them, I have a couple different other videos here to show you the back end of Zelle with those accounts like Capital One, PNC Bank, and even Wells Fargo.